you have authority over your own life, and the words that you speak and the words that you use actually shape your life, just like the way you use your time and the choices you make to do with time, they shape your life. So these two things are incredible gifts. Your tongue and your time are two incredible gifts, and I want you to take back control of your life. That's actually what I'm talking about. I want you to take back control of your life, and the way you're going to do that is you're going to appreciate the gift of time, and you're going to appreciate the gift of the tongue, and you're going to begin to make small but significant changes that radically impact your life going forward. Okay, I've been talking about the power of self-determination. When I talk about the power of self-determination, I'm not talking about independence from God. You know, it says in James 4:15, if the Lord is willing, we will live and do this or that. If the Lord is willing. In other words, people say, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And James is saying, well, what you should say is, if the Lord is willing, we will live and do this or that. So that verse is leaning into the sovereignty of God. But I want you to know there's two things. There's the sovereignty of God and there's the sovereignty of man. And one doesn't cancel the other, and the two work together. And so the book of Proverbs talks all about the sovereignty of God. But the book of Proverbs also talks all about the sovereignty of man. And when it talks about the sovereignty of man, what it's telling you is you have the power of self-determination, or you have the power of choice, is another way to put it. And so the power of choice determines the way that your life will go. There's many, many proverbs that tell you if you behave in a certain way, or if you respond to this wisdom, then your life, the outcome will be positive. If you respond in this other way, then the outcome won't be so good. That's talking about the power of self-determination. So the book of Proverbs is actually the voice of wisdom speaking to us. God is wisdom personified. So Proverbs is wisdom for life. And the book of Proverbs is very practical. And it has this beautiful dance between the sovereignty of God and the sovereignty of man. And the two dance together, so one doesn't cancel the other. So you get these people, and they're so focused on the sovereignty of God, they were always sitting around waiting for God to do something. And God says, I've given you a life, and I'm going to lead you and direct you, and you're going to walk with me. But it's like a blank canvas, and I want you to begin to paint it, and I want you to begin to put color and shape to that. And because you're my son, my daughter, I'm so excited to see what you're going to do with your life. Hallelujah. And so when you have that mentality, you begin to take initiative, and you make choices, and you begin to shape your life, just rather than waiting around on God all the time. Rather than waiting for a prophetic word to come before you can do anything, rather than waiting around for God to talk to you in an audible voice, no, you start making decisions and walk with God, but you start taking responsibility for your life and the decisions you've made and the shape that it's taking. You begin to take responsibility for your part. I can assure you God will take responsibility for his part. But you take responsibility for your part, because your part will involve you taking the power of self-determination seriously. You have to take seriously that you're a free will being with the power of self-determination. In other words, you make decisions that shape your life. There's the plain English if you don't like my jargon. You make decisions that shape your life. You have made decisions that shape your life and what it is today. So sometimes the first thing you've got to do is take extreme ownership, take responsibility for the shape your life has right now, the good, the bad, and the ugly, based on the decisions you have made, whether you've taken initiative or whether you've not taken initiative. And then you have to go a step further and begin to say, okay, God, what is the way ahead for me? Because he wants you to be very intentional about how you shape your life. He wants you to actually start making decisions that shape your life in the near future and in the distant future. Because you know, to get somewhere, you've just got to turn a little bit. If you turn a little bit, a big ship, it's going to turn up in a vastly different destination. You turn a big ship just slightly, might be the difference between going to Thailand and Siberia. And you've just turned the ship a little bit. And so it starts with small maneuvers, but you get the direction right, and it really radically changes your destination in your life. Are you fed up with some of your destinations? God will use every mess you've created. Are you fed up with some of your destinations? Well, if you become intentional about the responsibility he's given you to shape your life, then you might actually find your life starts moving towards totally different destinations. And so we looked at this Proverbs 18:21, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love its use will eat its fruit, because he's given us two amazing gifts. One is time, and the other is the tongue. And they're gifts, and we need to appreciate them as gifts, because when you realize they're a gift, you treat them differently. He's given you a gift of time. You get to choose how you use the time he's given you. Nobody knows the amount of time they've got, but you've been given time as a gift. This day, this time right now is a gift he's given you, and you're making choices about how you use it. You're making choices about how you use your week, but he's also given you a tongue. And that's a gift, because that tongue gives you the ability of expression. But you've got to realize that you're a sovereign being. That means you have government. Not only is God sovereign, but we're sovereign. And so you actually have government, so you have authority over your own life, and the words that you speak and the words that you use actually shape your life, just like the way you use your time and the choices you make to do with time, they shape your life. So these two things are incredible gifts. Your tongue and your time are two incredible gifts, and I want you to take back control of your life. That's actually what I'm talking about. I want you to take back control of your life, and the way you're going to do that is you're going to appreciate the gift of time, and you're going to appreciate the gift of the tongue, and you're going to begin to make small but significant changes that radically impact your life going forward. There's a strategy for you. So don't dismiss these things and don't think, oh, this is too big, it's like a mountain. No, maybe time has mastery over you, and you need to start taking mastery over time. And that's radically going to change your life, but maybe that's like a mountain. Start with one thing. Maybe the thing that you need to start with is you're always late. I know it's an easy one to pick on, right? It's fine. We're all late from time to time. I'm talking about people that have a lifetime established pattern of being late. Like, why is it some people are always on time and some people are always early? They're really annoying sometimes. And sometimes people are always late. Why is that? There's a reason for that. That didn't happen by chance. There's a reason for it. You need to find out the reason, because that means, if it's a consistent lifelong pattern, that means that time has mastery over you. And he gave you time as a gift for you to have charge over time and make decisions about time. And so, but you might just need to make a decision and say, okay, well, why am I late? What's one thing I can do to start being on time? But maybe it's not that you're late. Maybe it's that you just need a plan. Maybe time has mastery over you because you actually never take the time to make a plan. A simple plan can make a difference to this year. You could just go through the year, sort of tossed to and fro by what happens, or you could make a plan. You could have some aims. You could have a plan to carry those things out. That gives you mastery over time. Maybe it's a simple thing of discipline. Maybe there's an area in your life where you're not very disciplined, and if you were disciplined in that area, you would gain mastery over time. Maybe it's getting up in the morning. And now we're all different, right? We need morning people and we need night people. And so I want you to appreciate the gift of the tongue, and I want you to appreciate the gift of time. And your tongue can shape your life. And so this is my paraphrase of this verse. I'll read it again. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love its use will eat its fruit. This is my paraphrase, and I want you to pay attention because it brings out the meaning. Life outcomes are in the jurisdiction of the tongue, and those who are wise, strategic, and intentional in its use will reap great benefits. You can actually think about the way you use your mouth now to shape your life and to shift things around your life over the long term. And so this verse is not about being pedantic and slapping people around for every word that comes out of their mouth. That is just annoying. So if you're in that category where you're always judging people for what they say, and you shouldn't say that and stop talking like that, just stop that. It's a bad behavior. It's a bad practice. That's not what the verse is about. This verse is not about being more pedantic about every little thing somebody says. This is about being intentional with your words over the long term.